Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Algorand. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find links to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Okay, so let's get into this. So we were talking last time that we were looking at the structure. We are talking about a couple of things. So we're going to discuss this. Potentially we were still looking for the possibility of having an additional leg to the downside here in a fifth wave. We were talking about actually coming back potentially up into the zone of this 39.68 to this 32.03 region. So we were talking about that possibility of looking still for another A, B, and a C to the upside, as well as that we're talking about that potential to actually invalidate this and actually look to push up higher and form a bigger five-wave structure. Where this becomes a one, two, three, we'd look for a fourth and a fifth wave to the upside. And then potentially that would mean that the other count is in play, in which we look to actually finish into this low. So it's going to be quite important whether we manage to stay above this 1598 region. If we do not manage to do so, potentially we could be looking for a drop further down here towards this 1352 to this 10 cent 45 range, and we could actually look to actually push down much deeper here. So we need to keep this zone if we are looking for any sort of a bullish move out of here. There is potential, given the current structure we've got, that we could start to extend out here. So we're going to have to just track that, see how we get on with it. Okay, so basically within this, what we were talking about in the last video was actually looking for this deeper retracement here, potentially towards a 786, which is this lower range, which is a 1775. So we've only just managed to hold that zone, but we have moved away. So, this is potentially a good sign for the move. We're looking at it like this, where we're looking at this as a W, this is an X, and then potentially this as a Y wave to the downside. We're also talking about that possibility that, this move could actually start in from this high. And, we need to be careful because basically within this, if we are looking at this whole move as a corrective move in this manner, where this is a W, X, and Y to the upside, then basically that could actually mean that this fourth wave is completed here. In which case, we could actually be starting to move down in a five-wave move from this location. So we're looking at both of them. We have had a good reaction off here, but we haven't invalidated that potential of actually continuing to the downside. We need to get back above this high here at this zone of this 29.38 to invalidate any future potential of extension here. We do have a count where we are still potentially looking for some downside here in a five-wave structure. So we're going to be discussing that as well within the video. So make sure you stay tuned so that you see all the available options. Okay, so let's talk about this. If we are actually completed into this low point here, and we actually are going to start to move up here, we're potentially looking for this breakout to start. We're going to go over that count in a second, but first I just want to talk about that potential to actually break down. So what we were talking about in the previous video was that potentially we were looking for that possibility we started here, where this is a 1-2, and then potentially we're starting a bigger move to the downside. So within this structure, we actually are sitting right within the typical rejection area here. And I'm just going to throw this on. I don't know what happened to it. I did have it marked out. There we go. So we're actually sitting right on this 50% right now. So we need to just be a bit cautious here. Potentially this could turn around from this point and we could actually head for a new low. If this is the case and we do actually look to set a new low here, what I would then be looking for would be potentially moving down towards this zone of the 1697 to the 1642. And then basically within that, what we'd then be looking for would be whether we actually got an additional fourth and a fifth here. So the thing within this structure is, potentially we can count this as a five-wave move. Alternatively, we could look at this just as an ABC into here, and then basically we have a bigger W and X, and then we're looking for a double zigzag to the upside. If this is in fact a double zigzag, potentially our target range for this would be up here. We've already crossed that 1-1. So potentially this 1236, which would be this 2282, this 2326, or alternatively up here towards this 24 cent range would be where we are looking for the potential to actually um, look for a this is a WX and a Y. Basically, it can extend up to these areas. However, we need to also be um, aware that there is the potential to count this as an impulse. But if this does break down and we actually end up losing this low, then basically we would have to take this whole move up as corrective. And if it was, it would fit nicely into that idea of having this as a fourth and then potentially still looking for this fifth wave to the downside, looking for the 1697 to this 1557 area. The problem is I wouldn't want this to get much bigger here. If we start to come back down here and find support and then start to move back up, it really would stop fitting that narrative of looking at this as a fourth wave here. But, if we do actually break down, potentially we could be setting up here for an additional fourth and a fifth wave here. So depending on how deep we come here, we could actually look for an additional fourth and a fifth wave to the downside to play out at a later point, which could look to potentially take us down into that zone that we talked about previously of this 1352 to this 1045 range. So this is something we need to just be aware of. There is always the potential that we could also see other structure develop here, where this becomes a 1-2, this becomes a 1, we get a deeper correction here for a 2, and then we start to break down for our 5-wave structure. So we need to just be aware that if the bullish potential that we're going to go over now invalidates, we could actually see some more bearish potential play out here. We're looking for these lower prices and effectively to lose this 1598. Like we said before, if you do lose that 786 retracement, effectively it basically it just makes it less probable that you're gonna get that continuation, and that is the 1775. We start to break deeper than this. If this move to the upside fails and we break below this, then basically it would become less probable that we have that playing out. So let me delete this. Let's go into the 1 hourly. So the alternative way of looking at this move is potentially looking at this as a 1-2. All of this becomes a third wave and a 1-2-3 flat for a fourth, fifth, 3-4, and then potentially a fifth wave up here. So this fifth wave here, could potentially end at any moment here. This looks like a 1-2-3-4, and then potentially some kind of a ending diagonal or something going on here towards the end of this move. If we do actually turn around from this point and we lose this fourth wave low, then basically what I'd be looking for would be looking to actually move back down in a three-wave move, potentially down towards this 1964 to this 1859. That would be a typical B wave retracement. And then that would tie us into this idea of looking for this as a wave A or a wave one, and then looking for basically a B wave to the downside before looking to push up towards this 2419. And then basically, if we do end up forming a bigger trending move here, potentially that could take us up towards this 2789 region for a wave three. So this is important because if I zoom back out to the 4 hourly, basically within this, what this would do is this would then give us that potential of actually looking for this A, B, and potentially this C wave here. It would obviously, if we do get a 5-wave move here, where this becomes a 1, we come back for a 2, we get a 3 up here, get a fourth, it's potentially going to push past this 1-to-1 of the C wave. But, then that could actually look to bring us back up towards this 32 cent range. And then the higher area would be looking for would be this 3968. But the problem is, so if we're going to talk about a bigger trending move, what we need to do is move above this zone here, this blue line, which would be this 3925. If we do, what we'd then be looking at is the potential that we have, like I said earlier, this could become a 3, we get a fourth wave down, and we get a fifth wave to the upside. So if we do move up this high, to 39.25, we could look for that evidence of that fourth wave to play out from that point, and then potentially get some continuation to the upside. But yeah, for the moment, I'm just tracking this as an ABC. We'll have to see if it proves itself or not. And yeah, whether we actually manage to break through this 50% range here, or we actually start to reject down and look to break down deeper. If we do start to break down at any point here, it's going to be imperative that we hold this zone of this 1964 to this 1859. If we lose this 1859 area, it becomes more likely we're actually going to take this low, and basically we'd have to treat this whole move up as corrective, as a fourth wave, and then we'd be looking for that potential to drop down towards this 1695 to this 1557 area. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. There's been a nice bullish count here, or bullish move here, but it hasn't confirmed itself yet. We need to still be a little bit careful. These moves can turn very quickly, and it can look to invalidate this. So until we actually find a good, get a good retracement here, and then look for this B wave, or this extends out even further. That's the thing, we need to be aware that these things can become a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then basically this becomes a 3-4-5. Then we get an additional fourth and a fifth. Then we get an additional fourth and a fifth, and it continues to push. So these are also possibilities here, because the structure isn't perfect. We could still see some additional fourth and fifth waves here, but with the current structure, this is what we are looking at. Okay, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below so we Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, there is an affiliate link for BYBIT and PrimeXBT down in the description. Check them out, both great exchanges. We use them on a regular basis for our trades. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. They do have deposit bonuses. More information can be found on the websites through the links below. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.